As someone who has been a paid sub for the show and TYT for more than 5 years and watching both almost daily for more than 10 years, I implore you to stop commenting on the selectively clipped videos that circle leftist Twitter. TYT has some bad takes, but they and the show are ideologically aligned on 98% of the issues. No. They are not doing a rightward shift. They are solidly progressive and on the left. TYT does a ton of shit.
I'm pretty sure Jink sent in this IM, by the way.
Yeah.
To get people involved. Are you actually like IMing to get us started talking about this?
It's also just not true. I'm sorry. Like, you know, I don't really.
Let's set the scene here. This is the Vanguard reacting to the majority report, but this is part 2 of the Emma Vigeland and Anna Kasparian saga. It is a true saga. It's an emotional up and down roller coaster with anger, laughter, some content as far as good discussion. Emma Vigeland here is going to go after the Young Turks again, and you can see what's happening. Before we get to the end of this, you probably see where this is going between Emma Vigeland and Anna Kasparian. Jake Huger was in the last one. Sam Cedars in this one. The young men in the bottom right are the Vanguard. They're another left. We're in the left space now, and I am familiar with all of these players. I prefer Hard Lens Media myself. That is one of my favorites on the left. I would pick them over the Vanguard. No beef to any of them. They're all great streamers. But let's get back to Emma Vigeland. They're responding to this comment here about the Young Turks. And, of course, her friend, at least at this moment, Anna Kasparian.
I watch their show anymore. I find a lot of the yelling all the time a little bit difficult. But, like, I mean, the idea that they're not doing a rightward shift is just not true.
I believe one of them explicitly said that they were to the right of Democrats on the border, and in addition to all the crime stuff. So yeah, there's a disagreement. There are disagreements here, and we have to address them, and we try to do so as adults.
And we're.
I mean, they do all kinds of goofy stuff when it comes to Tim Pool. I don't understand where's this high ground coming from, Emma Vigeland? You don't have the high ground. You know, it's like, oh, we don't yell. Well, you do stupid stuff. Everyone does. If you're online, you're an entertainer to a certain extent. Nobody want to watch your trash if you don't have anything to say. So right now, they're saying that Anna Kasparian and Cenk Uygur have gone to the right. And my response is, who cares? I don't care. I mean, I just don't care. What's the take?
We're not, you know, I don't think, certainly, we have not spent time just simply like sort of like generally attacking TYT.
No, they leave that.
Those bad takes that you talk about, we are addressing when they come. So we probably skip, you know, I don't know.
Dozens.
70% of them, frankly.
I don't like talking about it, but I also feel like at the same time, just because it's uncomfortable given like my past personal relationships, but we need to combat. I think some of this is dangerous. I really do think that normalizing Trump and MAGA and perpetuating right-wing narratives such as that Colorado story about Venezuelan migrants, which ended up being, what do you know, as we indicated when we covered it, a slumlord basically who had previously had a bunch of complaints from the city of Aurora, who was trying to get out of doing repairs on And
by the way, I just want to say, not that I at all criticize the coverage of the majority report. I think they do a great job debunking a lot of right-wing bullshit. But as I've said on the show before, and this is more in response to that, you know, IM question or whatever.
Okay, this is sad to see with Emma Vigeland. She's trying to take the moral high ground, and she's wrong on the story. There was a gang there. We all know that now. Aurora police have identified and arrested several members of a Venezuelan gang. CBS News is just right there. I mean, this upload from them was, let's look at the dates here. This was from, this is the Vanguard. So the Vanguard was doing this. I don't remember when this was originally. I really hope this wasn't a new upload. because the information about that gang in Colorado came out kind of piece by piece. It was like, okay, it came out. People thought it was fake. There were people in Colorado, politicians lying about it. I wouldn't blame Emma Vigeland, Sam Cedar, Majority Report if they got that wrong based on that initial report. But you look at it, Trump puts Aurora, Colorado in spotlight. This was October. I think we found out even before October 11th. But it's all true. Republican mayor said Trump presented an opportunity to show him and the nation that Aurora is not overrun by Venezuelan gangs. So what he's saying is, well, the whole city is not overrun with Venezuelan gangs. Mayor Mike Kaufman made the statement after weeks of misleading claims. This is CBS News, that the city was a war zone. So we went through, and if you go these articles, if you keep scrolling down, in the article, they talk about the gang takeover. It was shared by a local councilwoman on Facebook. It said the city is working to request an emergency court order to clear the apartment buildings where Venezuelan gang activity has been occurring. So you scroll down they start the article trying to make it sound like it's fake. Maybe that's where Emma's getting this stuff. After patrolling the complex, the police department said gang members had not taken over the building and residents were not paying rent to gangs. Kaufman also visited the building and said tenants told him they did not have safety concerns. But you keep scrolling down. Kaufman said initial reports of the gang takeover came from property management. That's what Emma's talking about. The mayor and councilwoman released a statement on September 11th to clear the record. So they were doing cleanup because this story was bubbling up to affect the presidential election. They probably got calls on this. The police department said it's linked 10 people to the Venezuelan gang. You see how far down the article you have to scroll? The police department said it linked 10 people to the Venezuelan gang. I don't even know if you can say that on YouTube. And 8 of those people have been arrested as of September 11th. So there's no gang, but the police department said they linked 10 people to a gang. What are we talking about here? So what they're saying is, the gang wasn't running over the whole city. Nobody said that. They said that the gang took over an apartment complex. 10 people connected to the gang. You don't think they were taking over an apartment complex? You don't think people in there were like, I'm not going to talk about a gang taking over a apartment complex, especially after the initial reports showed and the initial statement said it was. And they're worried about the election. Come on, guys. You got to do better than that. It's just I just don't like the disingenuous takes. And I think what you do is that's why they write these articles like that. Go deeper and deeper into the article, the truth comes out. That's the last paragraph of the article. The last paragraph of the article is when they talk about that. Oh my goodness. And there's more articles out there on it. Let's go to the last piece here, and I'm going to go to this piece here, and then we're going to go to the end, the climax. You don't want to miss that. Different
RIMs are broken.
It's a different type of climax than we're used to here.
I don't know what's going on, but they froze basically at the start of the show, and then they aren't coming back. And I tried to refresh, then I lost all of them. But I did see an IM that I just wanted to respond to really quickly because I didn't want, they actually are broken. But I felt like people might be like, you're dodging this. I'm not. So I saw that my dear friend Anna Kasparian kind of went viral with a tweet. And some people wanted me to weigh in on it. And I just look, she, as I said, dear friend of mine, really good person. I don't think she's anti-trans. I don't think that's really even a question. She has a long track record in this space. And I think her track record should speak for itself. She's been in this space for a long period of time.
You hear how leftists, the men and the women both think this, but especially like a leftist woman thinks, you're not anti-transformers. Like, are all Transformers good? I don't understand what we're talking about here. I'm not anti or pro all of anybody. I mean, there are some groups that I am very kind of flamboyant as far as hyperbolic about, but each person is their own being. It's part of the problem I have with rainbow representation in TV and movies, especially like Disney and stuff like that. We've seen a little bit of difference in like HBO movies and stuff or shows. But most of the time in these movies, it's like rainbow is good. Whoever is the rainbow person, they're a good person. It's never a rainbow person is a bad, unlikable person or, unlikable for them not having good moral character. So basically they associate good with the rainbow and the rainbow with good. And that's what Emma's doing here. Of course Anna's not anti-transformer. How could she be? What, there's no bad Transformers? What are you talking about?
And has done a ton of great work. However, like I really do disagree with the emphasis. I think it's wrong to.
What they're talking about here is using the words like if you say a birthing person, it's off-putting. Who's a birthing person? A woman is a biological woman is a birthing person. Is a woman. You don't call them a birthing person. They twist themselves in these circular arguments and they can't get out of them. That's why Ketanji Brown Jackson can't say, oh, I can't define what a man or a woman is. Because if I do, then the other argument falls apart. Or if I go with the other argument, then the biological falls apart.
Overinflate the usage of kind of awkward language like birthing person, both in frequency and in terms of the stakes involved when someone is referred to by that language, because it's awkward. I get it. It's stilted when being used in non-medical or technical terms, but I think that's like kind of the extent of the critique, right? It's awkward. It doesn't take away anyone's rights, and it's not in when being used right now in that context.
Well, it can if you try to, and I don't know if this has been done. Well, they tried to pass a bill. Sheila Lee, I believe she passed away, didn't she? Tried to pass a bill to say that it would be hate speech not to use the terms that somebody else wants you to use. That is taking away my right, First Amendment right. But they're trying to do a circumventing it because, say you're at work and somebody says they want to be called something. Well, now your job's in danger if you're like, well, no, I don't want to call you that. It's not a First Amendment violation, but basically cultural pressure. So what she's saying is birthing person or whatever these other terms are that they use, pronouns and stuff like that, is if you use it, it's not a bad thing, is what Emma's trying to say. Emma Vigeland saying that, and Anna Kasparian is saying is, this is hurting us. She's not against it. Anna Kasparian's take is, using these terms is rubbing people the wrong way, even though Anna Kasparian likes the terms. And even that little bit of a difference causes a rift on that side between friends.
Context, it's not taking away anyone's rights. And like as a cis woman myself, I just think it's more important to put into context that like while you might not enjoy the technical language, that awkwardness is inevitable in this current climate and necessary because we're trying to like fortify walls right now as trans erasure is widespread right now. Like there's a barrage of deliberately trans exclusionary language, which is what some of the awkward, stilted terminology is meaning to beat back. And that
what Emma Vigeland is admitting here is that this is a linguistic battle. The words don't matter. She's saying that. Well, the frequency, you don't want to say them too much. Well, if they mattered, why does it matter if you say them too much? What she's saying is this is a battle of linguistics, and we have to win it. And Anna Kasparian, you saying those terms is rubbing people the wrong way. We can't win elections that way. Anna's still a Democrat. She's still a flaming Democrat. Don't F what you heard. That's not good enough for Emma because Emma's like, we want to win this battle.
Exclusionary language is really just the tip of the iceberg for systemic erasure. So being diligent about combating that, I mean, that's at the forefront of my mind. So, like, again, I've tried to say this before. From my point of view, so much of what we do in this business, very small business, and I will reiterate that, like, Anna, in my opinion, is one of the very few good ones. But
I'll sidetrack a little bit. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. As a side note, people might know if you've heard me on I have another channel and stuff like that. Emma's easy on the eyes, let's just say. I think she's very attractive. I think she's very smart. I'm disappointed to hear her. This is robotic stuff. This is my team, so I'm going to be a good team player. My team is the left. I'm a true leftist. But she's actually very smart. She talks more sports. I think she's absolutely beautiful. This is a waste of talent to me. It's sad.
We have a disagreement here. Like, it's just so much of what we do isn't just how we cover something, it's what we cover, it's story selection, it's what we emphasize.
Okay, let's go to the climax, I'll say. No pun intended at all, seriously. But let's go to the Twitter. And the topic here is not going to be the big thing to me. It's going to be this ending is sad, y'all. Everything doesn't have, well, the story isn't written yet, but the end. This is the last piece of this Emma Vigeland and Anna Kasparian thing I'm going to go over. They had beef on Twitter. So Matt, I don't even know who that is, so Matt Leach or whoever said, let's get into it. How much of TYT's membership dues have gone towards returning this guy's investment instead of the TYT employees who have better politics than the main hosts? And this is the old story about like a union battle or something with TYT, like the union of TYT workers, I believe. That's not the point of this. So Emma says, to be fair, some of it probably also went into hiring a union-busting law firm. So that she's really digging into the company where her friend, Anna Kasparian, works for the TYT. She's high up in there. She's been there forever. And you can imagine your friend is digging in. That's a dig at Anna Kasparian. So she said, from a left standpoint, they're so into unions. It's a big diss to them. So Anna she blocked me on X, and I never really have no beef with her. She blocked me back when I was way softer than I am now in 2020. But now that they removed the block, I can see, you can see the post. I can't interact with it, which is fine. But here's Anna Kasparian going at her. It looks like they're, at least for right now, former friend. They don't look like friends, and I don't know what the relationship is. But Anna Kasparian is very hot on Twitter. I wouldn't be surprised if they blocked each other or she blocked her. But people don't block as much now, I don't think, because what does it really matter? And that was the point of it, which is a good decision by X, but I digress. Anna Kasparian says, yet another sign of her pathetic. Now we got words. And this is all in public. Pathetic dishonesty. Emma was employed by the Young Turks when the company announced recognition of the union. These cheap shots to make herself look like a class warrior cracked me up, especially when she advocates that we all shut up and take when someone assaults us on public transportation. Not wanting to get punched in the face is a bougie concern after all. Ooh, we're getting into it now. It's a cat fight. Anybody got a vat of chocolate syrup? Continuing on. Emma, you can do what you want to do with AI on this one, guys. Emma Vigeland. I don't know why. Anna Kasparian she's obviously attractive, but she doesn't do anything for me. I don't know. There's people I don't know. But as you said, I'm a fan. I said earlier, I'm a fan of Emma, though. They could still do it. They could do oil. It could be oil. It could be mud. I'm good with that, too. Digress. The channel's like 90% men, so there you go. Emma replies, they're in the chocolate vat now, and now there's a headlock. unclear what this means. No, I think she was pretty clear. I think your ex-friend was pretty clear. Another sign of her pathetic dishonesty. You were there when we announced the recognition of the union. You're trying to make yourself look like a class warrior. It stings because Anna has a point. Emma's virtue signaling, especially when she advocates that we shut up. I don't know if that has to do with Neely or not, but that's a base take. We don't have to shut up. If whoever is on the public transportation acting a fool, you could get yoked. You could get yoked out. I don't know what her full point is, but that's where she's going. Emma, you're good with words. Your ex-friend was pretty clear in that post. I'm a member of a union. Well, that doesn't go against anything Anna said. If that's a shot at my upbringing, I'll let my work speak for itself. What? Emma's flustered at this point. Anna's got her like half covered in there. Her head's not under the chocolate syrup, but the rest of the body is. I'm sure they're wearing two pieces. Continuing on, the Young Turks labor union complaint is public. We're off the rails now. I've tried to keep our differences professional. This is kind of sad, y'all. I loved you as a friend at one point. That's a past tense. I'm sorry you've gone down this road. That's not a good response by Emma. Anna's destroying her right now. Anna's heated. Why does this have to play out in public? But I'm going to get some popcorn and we'll keep it going. This time they've gone to the oil vat. Anna says, no, you didn't try to keep ish professional, Emma. You've been mocking me, especially I've played these clips. She's saying, I've heard you kind of taking pot shots at me. Even though Emma did say, hey, that's my girl, basically, I like her, I think very highly of her. So I don't really think those are pot shots, but you can tell Anna was in her feelings and you can tell they had never talked about it or worked it out. So it spills out in the public on X. The platform where friends fight friends. That's basically, I've said, that's what my X feed is. God, Deb, why is Deb Philman and Dr. Karlin Borisenko fighting? Why is that happening? And it's many others, Sneeko and Nick, and it's just, you could just keep on naming people. And now Anna and Emma and the algorithm should be public. Actual Justice Warrior, I don't want to hear you get into this. This is between them. This is where we're going to end it. You've been mocking me and running your mouth for a year. Your regression into cheering on crime in addition to your identitarian streak is grotesque. And that's the end of that. The after show carnage sometimes ends on a somber note. I don't know if that really is somber or not. Just because we're friends doesn't mean we can't have discussion and maybe fall out because we're in different places. Let me know what you think after show carnage. This was a different one. We laid this one out. We get you all different types of emotions, different type of clips. And this one isn't for me to even hate anybody on the left as a conclusion. The conclusion is I hope they can come to some type of understanding. I hate to see friends fall out.